What is up, my guys? First things first, let's get into the Game Week 27 recap. Pretty much, guys, here's how it is. I just cannot seem to stop taking dubs. Even if I tried to lose, I'd probably still get a green arrow. I'm up to my highest rank this season, hitting the top 13k. Although at the time of recording this, the Arsenal game has not been played yet, and it will probably, very slightly harm my rank. So maybe we'll just say top 15k for now. Same thing to me. What I want to begin with is telling you guys quite a funny story. So as you can see on my team here, we've got Foden and we've got Areola with 13 and 15 points respectively. Now, in a TikTok recently I said my transfer plans was to either sell Areola or sell Foden. If I show you this clip now, you will see I am telling the truth. Option 1, I sell Phil Foden to get Heung-min Son. Next option is I could go from Areola to Neto. But the gods above blessed me, okay? They got Hwang Hee-chan injured, so I couldn't transfer either of those guys out, which saved me, massive depression. Instead, I sold Hwang Hee-chan and got Leon Bailey on a cheeky 4-pointer, which is like the lowest thing you could call a return, if you can even call it a return. So guys, I want to know, would you consider that lucky, or would you... It is lucky, guys. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Now, the captaincy, without a doubt, has failed massively. Haaland missing the easiest chance of his career, hitting it over from 2 yards out is crazy. He still managed to score 1 goal thanks to a mistake from Amrabat, which, he seems to be making a lot of those mistakes recently, but I'm going to let it slide because he got me some FPL points. So yeah, he ended on 6, which for a 14 mil striker, you really would expect more. He's been fairly underwhelming this year. Luckily, we had Foden, like I said earlier. Those guys who do have Saka captain, they pretty much have it in the bag right now. Obviously, I don't know the result yet, but it's probably a big one for Saka playing at Sheffield United away. And finally, if we take a look at the whole team, you can see we've got some nice points there. The Fulham defence, Castaña's coming through with another 6-pointer for me. Very nice. Gordon, bit of a lucky goal. But, they come to him. They just do. He gets a goal every now and then. It's nice to see. At a very cheap price, you should be owning him. Anyway, enough of my team. Let's let my genius guide you into having a fantastic double game week 28 FPL team. So now me, personally, I don't have many double game week 28 players right now. In fact, I have 0. And to be honest, you don't really need a lot. It all just depends on your team. So obviously, we're going to Bournemouth assets first. The best one, the only must-have of the double game week is Dominic Solanke. If you don't have this guy, you may as well just end up deleting the FPL app after game week 28. So just be careful. Even worth a -4, definitely bring him in. Even if you need to sell Watkins for Solanke, okay? It's valid this week. It's sad to see, but you might need to do it. Something else I just want to get off my chest, guys, is that every Bournemouth midfielder as an FPL asset is so bad, okay? They're all awful. I'm sure one of them will do okay in a double game week, but there's no stats, no indication as to which one that's going to be. It's just a dice roll. So yeah, please stay away from them unless you have absolutely nothing better to do. Then I'd probably pick Clivert. The defence is where it's at. They're playing against Sheffield United and Luton at home. These are 2 very nice games with some good clean sheet potential, okay? Now, Neto is my favourite of the, clean sheet potential from Bournemouth because he can also pick up save points and get some bonus points, just like he did against Burnley last game week in game week 27. The defenders are also good. Senesi was the best choice with the highest goal threat until he got injured. Now, you probably want to pick that Zabani guy. You see some of the content creators have him. It's because he's the most reliable. He started the most games in the Bournemouth defence this year, so he's the one you should look out for now. And that is literally about it from Bournemouth, okay? Get Solanke and get a Bournemouth defender. Maybe 2 if you really wanted to take that risk. It's quite valid. Anything is better than getting them Bournemouth midfielders, guys. You can clip this. You can make fun of me if I'm wrong. Now let's look at Luton assets. Carlton Morris, definitely the best Luton asset in the game right now. The only problem is you probably want a front 3 of Haaland, Watkins and Solanke. That front 3 is only worth compromising for Morris if you're using wildcard in game week 30. That way, you can sell Haaland for playing Liverpool away and it's blank game week, then you can wildcard him back in. Solanke and Watkins over these next 2 game weeks, you must own them, guys. Please do not sell them. They're really good assets. 1000% honesty here. No Luton asset is actually needed in this double game week. Some of them can be good. Like I just said, Morris is all right. The Luton defender named Doughty, I think that's how you pronounce his name. A lot of people have him. I don't think he's as good as he's made out to be, but he may get the goal contribution, against Crystal Palace or Bournemouth. He might. I don't think he will, personally. The only other third Luton asset I would consider, aside from Doughty and Morris, is Tahith Chong. I think he surpassed Ross Barkley a bit, especially in the underlying data. And you got to follow these patterns, okay? If he keeps getting goal contributions, it's probably something to look into because Barkley himself is not actually getting that much anymore. Maybe it's time to shift your focus a little bit, maybe switch things up. But, there is another side to the coin in these Luton assets, okay? If you're not using free hit in Game Week 29, it's worth actually doubling up on these Luton assets because they are the only team that double in Game Week 28 and still play a fairly decent game in blank Game Week 29. So if you're not having a free hit for blank Game Week 29, guys, definitely get them Luton assets in. You'll want Morris and you'll want Doughty because they're good points for it either way, even if they're blank. It is kind of at this point in FPL where the best transfers, they really do depend on what your team looks like and your chip strategy. So make sure you're considering that and not just blindly following what everyone says. Look at your team, see what you want to do, look at the position you're in, then make your move. You know what I'm saying? Now, steering away from the double game week players, it is worth mentioning Salah does come back for game week 28. Well, at least he's supposed to, is expected back, playing against Man City. Liverpool's most important game for the rest of the year, really. You'd expect Klopp even to risk Salah in that game because, let's be honest, they really do need Salah. My guy Jurgen Klopp, he can't keep relying on these 10-year-olds to go and get last-minute winners. And just one little side note to finish this all off, you probably want to sell your Man City defenders at this point. I myself am a Man City defender owner. The rotation risk with the games coming up is absolutely not worth it. Let's all be honest with ourselves. I mean, look at this fixture run here. It's probably the safest week to sell Man City players. I hope all of you have enjoyed listening to my wonderful opinions. If you disagree with anything I said, feel free to argue with me. I don't care.